What's good, DC Squad? It's your girl KDZ baby, and I'm back again with another video for y'all. And in this video, I'm gonna be reacting to the infamous Squid Game. Okay, guys, Let me just take this off. Take three. Take fucking three.
Really, nigga?
I'm gonna be reacting to Squid Game Explained. Your what the fuck questions answered, why it was created, and the front man plus whatever that means. I think it was just I don't know. But I'm gonna be reacting to 3 different videos regarding Squid Game. So I'm also gonna be reacting to Squid Game Every Ending Clue and Squid Game Netflix TikTok compilation. Because I know there's a lot of memes, a lot of TikToks going on regarding Squid Game, and I've seen a lot of them. They're really funny, so I just thought I might check that compilation out. This wasn't anything specifically requested. I just really wanted to react to these things, like to these videos, because Squid Game is very popular right now. I think it's still #1, or is On My Block #1 now? Because I know On My Block just came out yesterday, technically, because it's 12:58 a.m. right now. But yeah, anyway, Squid Game was popping, still is. I already watched all of the episodes, and y'all, let me just tell y'all a couple things. This is what I thought, okay? First of all, that old man can suck my toe, my big one, the ugliest one. Now that's my pinky. Anyway, how he gonna have me crying during the whole marble game? Oh, shoot, I need to say spoilers. Y'all, this got spoilers. I'm on the cord. Major spoiler alert. Okay? Major spoiler alerts. There are a lot of spoilers in this video. From the videos and from me. But yes, guys. During that marble game, that old man had me messed up. Because I was crying, boo-hooing. And at the end, the old man wanted to be the one that was over the whole thing. Had me messed up, okay? I did not see that coming. And then, how my dude, bro, what's his name? Trying to get with the names, it was just so hard to keep up. Like, especially since it was not originally in English. But, yeah, I think y'all know who I'm talking about. I was mad during the marble scene when this dude's friend, first of all, who told him? Who told him? Like, my dude was about to win, okay? My Middle Eastern dude was about to win. Which, I was like, at first I was like, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. But then the dude's ugly self wanted to go ahead and play my guy, give him some pebbles. That was, I believe, episode 6. That whole episode had me messed up. Because then, with my girl, y'all see, this is the thing. The names is going to be hard for me to explain. Anyways, y'all know how it was 2 girls, right? So, you know the girl that had to die in that episode as well. I was so sad. I cried then, too. I cried a couple times that episode. Episode 6 was rough. But, y'all, okay. Okay. Now, there's a lot more things I want to get into. Let's talk about it in the comments, though. It's going to be another season. Can't wait because, yeah. It was very hard for some people to get into Squid Game. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, then you probably got into Squid Game. You actually enjoyed it, and you understood it, and you actually liked it a lot. And you can't wait for the next episodes, next season. You get what I'm saying? And then there were some people, like my mom, she just really couldn't get into it, but she watched the whole thing anyway. She really did that for no reason because she's not even going to watch the second season if it comes out. Or when it comes out, because she didn't even really like the first one. Anyway, yeah. We gonna watch Squid Game Explained. W2F questions answered. Stop. Don't do this to me.
Things like that. Beyond just being fashionable. Now, the first thing we're going to be going over is why. Though very little is known about the character, we learn in the series that when he was growing up,
if this keeps glitching, I'm gonna be... It's too late for this. Don't mess with me.
Included all of the things that we see in the show, and this also
Gotta start the whole thing over. This thing wanna play.
first thing we're going to be going over is why Eelnam created the toy. Very little is known about the character. We learn in the series that when he was growing up, he played lots of games as a kid. These included all of the things that we see in the show, and this also explains why he's so good at playing them. Eelnam's entire life is centered around games.
I didn't even think about that. The fact that the old man knew how to do everything. He even had a strategy for tug of war. Which kind of didn't really work at the same time.
And, well, gambling.
I guess
even on his deathbed, he still attempts to play a final one with Guion, in which he bets whether anyone will help a man passed out in the freezing cold. Just as he loses this, he loses his life, and everything is all tied together in such a way that it makes for an awesome final scene. Now firstly, I just want to go into the reason behind why he did it at face value, before diving into what I think the hidden meaning behind it is. We learn that Eelnam built a vast fortune for himself, and because of this, money was never an object. Whatever he wanted to do, he could, but this also came with its downsides. Nothing was out of his reach any longer, there was nothing else that would prove a challenge to him, and thus everything became rather pedestrian. Now this actually reminds me a lot of an old Twilight Zone episode called A Nice Place to Visit, due to the psychological aspects in it. That episode followed a man named Rocky who was shot dead after robbing a pawn shop. In the afterlife he met what appeared to be an angel, and he told him that it was his job to give Rocky whatever his heart desires. Initially, he believed he was in heaven because he won every single game that he played, and he was loved and adored by everyone that he came across. However, as the episode went on, he realized he was in hell because everything was going his way no matter what. Rocky very much came to the conclusion that the rest of eternity would be miserable because his need to do better and improve had been completely stripped away from him. This is very much how I view Eelnam, and he tells us that he found some common ground with his other rich friends who felt the same way. Thus, they set up Squid Game and started to recruit people from across the world. In episode 5, we see that this has gone back decades and that over the years, thousands upon thousands have met their deaths for the entertainment of the VIPs. At one point it's said that this is very much a form of gambling for them, and we as humans subject animals such as horses to partake in games for us, much like how Eelnam and co do. Now why the twist is so shocking is because Eelnam comes across as one of the nicest people in the show. During the marbles game,
That's why it fooled everybody. Like, this show had some of the best acting ever.
Everyone was upset when he apparently died, and I'm not gonna lie, it made me hate Gi-hun for a bit. I think what Eelnam and the VIPs do to ease their conscience is that they make the majority of the games something that the contestants have to agree to. Everyone signs a waiver before entering the competition, and they are given options to forfeit and leave with their lives should they wish to. I think what's likely the case is that they've done the games enough times now to know that many will want to quit after the first one, but that the prize money will always bring them back. These are of course desperate people that we're dealing with, and they're hand-selected by the recruiter, likely due to their appearance and also circumstances. Thus, to ease the conscience of the VIPs, they are given the opportunity to quit, and then it's entirely on them if they decide to come back. Eelnam had very much lived a life of betting and gambling, and we know from the show that he was diagnosed with a tumour. I believe that before he got gravely ill, that the character wanted to have one more real big gamble, and thus he decided to play his game from the other side. He picked up number 1, and interesting.
That just blew my mind. This dude was once just watching the games, and he's actually rich. He was, at least. He was actually rich as hell. And he just thought that he had too much money. So what better way than to put people in a game to compete for the money. But not only compete, like, it's not a friendly game. You die. I'm sorry. No. Goodbye.
The Ilnam actually translates to 1 as well. Is a clue that he was behind it all. Now in the game, I believe that he finds something he did not expect to, and that is an heir. When we join him at his deathbed, there's no relatives there or anyone close to him to keep him company. He is truly alone except for Guion, and it's possible that in this game he came across someone that literally or figuratively was like a son to him. Now why I said literally is like because there are some hints in the series that the pair are actually related.
Yeah.
In episode 3, Guion goes to get some milk, and he tells the god that he can't have it and asks for some chocolate flavour instead. Ilnam makes fun of him and says that his son used to do the same and that he'd beat him for it.
Yeah.
When they're playing marbles, Ilnam walks through the streets and he comes across somewhere that resembles his childhood home. Interestingly, Guion also says that an alleyway resembles where he lived when he was younger, and it is possible that the pair are related. If that's indeed the case, then it would mean that Ilnam abandoned Guion when he was very young in order to gamble and to play games. This is not dissimilar to how we meet Guion, who is betting on horses, in debt over his head, and also at a point where his daughter is taken away from him. At the end of the season, he's meant to be flying out to LA in order to meet with her, but instead he ends up heading back to seemingly stop the games. All of these similarities make me think that Ilnam wasn't just playing the games in order to see what they were like, but he was also trying to find a replacement. Ilnam has no heirs or people to pass his legacy to, and thus I believe that he went through the selection process in order to see if there was anyone else worthy to take up the leadership of the games. Now this definitely has been seen in the past, and how they've operated. In episode 5 we learn that Inho, aka the frontman, had actually been a part of the games, and because he's still alive, it's likely that he won them. He's also been drafted into the running of the games, probably because he's now so rich that he realizes he has more in common with Ilnam and the like than he does the typical man. That being said, I have no idea how much that amount of money actually is worth.
That right there, bruh. I'm like, I didn't see that coming either. I didn't know that that was going to be his brother, the one he was actually looking for. And he gonna shoot him? Another theory is that he's still alive. So do you guys think he's still alive, or
maybe he still needs a job? Anyway, this idea of becoming closer to those in power is pretty much telegraphed to us at the end. Not only does he completely change his appearance and start dressing smarter, but he also dyes his hair red. Red throughout the series is seen as a colour that showcases power, and whether it was the cards given out by the recruiters or the gods themselves, red indicates someone is part of the system rather than being a player. Thus I think the reason that Ilnam created the games is because he not only wanted a fun time for him and his friends, but he also wanted someone to take over them. In the finale we learn that the games are still going on, and thus they are like...
He knew he was gonna die like soon. So that's why he was in the game, not only to just play, you know, before he dies, but to see if he can find somebody that can start making the games.
Looking for other people to either watch over it or to... Ilnam has left a void in the operation that needs to be filled, and I'd absolutely love to see Guion step into it. Guion has demonstrated that he's willing to abandon his family to take the tournament down, but it might end up being the key to seeing him becoming the very thing that he hates. Now, similar to this ideology, the frontman was also willing to cast his family to the side in order to continue playing the game. In the series we watched as his brother attempted to find out his connection to the games, and the two eventually came face to face. The frontman ended up shooting his brother, and he seemingly fell to his death. After the review part of the video, I'll talk about whether I think Hwang Jun-ho is alive or not, but this move by In-ho is very important. It shows that he's now completely detached from his family, and as we know, someone is still running the games in Ilnam's absence. Thus, I would imagine that he is now taking up the leadership position, as he was pretty much being put in that place anyway due to his closeness to Ilnam. The frontman describes things as being a dream, and he says to Guion that it really wasn't a bad one for him. Because of this, I believe that he himself has accepted what he went through, and instead of seeing it in a negative light like Guion does, he's now just viewing it as gambling with people as the horses. Anyway, before we get into the final part of the video, it's time to tell you about the W1800i and what I thought about it. Like I mentioned at the start, finally, we're going to be talking about whether Jun-ho is still alive at the end of Squid Game. Throughout the series we watched as he investigated his whereabouts, and he was shot by him at the end. and there are some hints that he's still alive and that he might into his brother. The pair both fire at one another. He was shot by him at the end.
I was shook it.
That Jun-ho does too. Arguments to this is that the games are still running and that brought them.
Alright, guys. Alright. So that was very, very entertaining, very interesting. A lot of the things I had heard before because my brother told me. But they definitely opened some doors of different thoughts. So I'm definitely more excited for the second season. Let's see. Squid Game, every ending clue. More spoilers. Let's go. Guys, there's more spoilers. Let's do this. I guess it's not a spoiler to the ones that are watching. I'm guessing you guys. Did I just did that, didn't I? Oh, wait, I meant to do that. There we go. Alright. Things you missed and hidden details. Alright. Let's go. Make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all subscribe. Let's get into it.
Okay, so did you know that the players in Squid Game could have actually seen what games they'd be playing before they even played them? Between the matches, the characters were all placed into a room filled with bunk beds, and though this seemed just like a rest area, if you look at the walls, they're actually filled with significant markings. As the beds get slowly stripped away, it's revealed that these paintings are actually all of the games that the players would be playing throughout the tournament. First is Red Light, Green Light. There's also the Honeycomb game, Tug of War, the Glass Hopping one, the Three at the Table, and lastly the titular Squid Game. The series itself is filled with clues to the eventual reveals, and this is
that. Wow, you telling me nobody thought to look at the wall? Well, including most viewers, I'm sure. So I guess that's crazy. You gotta really pay attention. Damn.
also the case with the player who's behind the entire thing. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and throughout this video we're going to be breaking it all down, but I just want to give a huge spoiler alert for the series. If you haven't checked it out, then this is your chance to quit playing, but if you want to continue, then I hope you thumbs up the video and also subscribe to the channel. With that out of the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into Squid Game. Okay, so at the end of Squid Game, we learn that it was Il-nam all along. The final episode reveals that he invented the games as a form of entertainment for him and his rich buddies who had become bored with life. We learn that he had actually got involved in the one that we see in the show because he was dying and wanted a final bit of fun in his life before it was too late. The ending was absolutely incredible, and the scene had Ji-hun saying goodbye to the character as he lay on his deathbed. This last meeting actually reflected their first one, in which he too encountered the character as he sat in a bed. It was a pretty big twist that pulled the rug out from under your feet, but eagle-eyed viewers might have spotted early on that there were several clues pointing towards his true identity. Now the first one is that he is number 1, the very first player. If we look at the subtext of the series, Ji-hun is the final number, and throughout we watch as he very much works his way to...
Bruh, yeah. And that guy, the one that he played the games with in the beginning, like, he said there's not many spots left. He was the last one. So yeah, if Il-nam, what's his name? The old man, y'all. He had number 1. So that means he was the first one ready to play. So, bruh, I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm so done. Because how do we not pay attention?
his place, aka Il-nam. In the final episode, he's left as number 1. He inherits a large portion of the character's fortune and comes face to face with him in one of the final scenes. 1 is symbolic on a number of levels, and because it's the first place, it also hints to us that Il-nam is number 1 and that he's the one controlling everything. In episode 5, Hwang Jun-ho sneaks through the compound, and he eventually finds a storage room with files on all of the games that have happened over the decades.
So
Upon opening the 2021, the first player there is actually number 2, and Ilnam's profile is completely missing. There is no file for number 1 because he doesn't need or want to keep a record for himself. The other players in the game also somewhat hint towards us that something is off with Ilnam, and though it's not too obvious, when you really think about it, he wouldn't be someone that would be selected for the process. Everyone else in the Squid Game is roughly the same age, whereas he's extremely elderly. He's also dying of a brain tumour, and thus even if he did win the life-changing money, it wouldn't last that long. Though he gives his reasons as to why he wants it, from what we know about the games and the players that have been selected in the past, they're all roughly between 20 and 40, and he's a complete outlier in all of this. Now the games themselves are also major giveaways too. Throughout the series we watched as he said they were all things that he'd played as a child, and in retrospect it becomes blatantly obvious that he selected them himself because they're what he knows. On repeat viewings, it's clear that each of them are something that he not only played as a kid, but they're also things that he's very, very good at. Now the first thing they play is red light, green light. Whilst the other players are absolutely terrified for their lives, he gleefully struts about whilst the Terminator's back is turned, and even stops before it looks back to face the crowd. He knows all of the lyrics to the song that the machine sings, and therefore knows to stop in advance before it ends and turns back around. If we look at the clip of the targeted players, you might also notice something different about him. The one directly to his left and all of the other ones to the side have a slight green overlay that appears over the top of them. If we look at the players to his right, outside of the girl crouching down beside him, this is also the case too. Everyone other than him in this girl's tracksuit appears slightly green, and I believe that this machine sees him without the glow because it's been programmed not to shoot him. If this theory is right, then he also has a protective ring around him that stops the machine from firing at people in his vicinity in case it misses, and that's why the girl to his right is also safe too. Immediately after this game, the players decide to cast a vote on whether they should end the tournament or not. He is the one who makes the choice in the end and casts the deciding vote to end the game. This subtly shows his power over the entire thing, and I actually think that...
But it also, that's why it threw everybody off, because he was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm ready to be done. That's like, nobody's gonna think that he's behind all this just from that. Like, just if you don't overthink it, you get it? But dang, that's crazy. The whole little red light, green light thing. The whole time I'm thinking, oh man, stick with, oh dude, you won't die. But the whole time whoever stuck with the oh man was gonna survive. Bitch.
He carried this out for a specific reason. He wanted to give the players a chance to walk away from it all knowing the stakes, and if they came back then that would ease his conscience slightly as the choice was theirs. Now cut to the honeycomb game and Ilnam ends up choosing the star. Though this seems like a very complex shape, there's not actually any bends in it like the circles or umbrellas. Though you might think it's easier to have the triangle's lines are longer, whereas the stars are shorter, so there's less to cut through before you hit an edge. Being completely honest though, yeah, the triangle is a pretty easy shape too, but Ilnam didn't exactly have one of the difficult ones either. And next we jump to episode 4, in which a fight breaks out during the night. Throughout, Ilnam hides away from the carnage up on one of the bleachers, and he ends up begging for the fighting to stop. Even though up until this point it seemed like the front man was completely in control, he immediately sends the guards in because Ilnam requests it. Another clue is that his bed is the only one that isn't flipped, and this is because the guards likely know who he is. Next they play a game of tug of war, and because of their players it seems like Ilnam's team are about to be sent to their deaths. However, he is the one who tells them how to win, and because of his guidance they easily beat the much stronger team. Ilnam had clearly played...
Let's not... Okay, they didn't easily win. Technically, they won because of... What's the name? Ilnam gave them a great start. I agree. It probably did help them not die in the first few seconds, but they were gonna lose at some point in time after that. Bless me. Woo! Thank you. But then, the dude that I don't like anymore... He ended up was like, hey, take 3 steps, let's go. And then, boom. Because it's like the other team thought they were going to just go ahead and die. But, nah. Bitch, psych. So, yeah. I don't think he was exactly... That's what I don't really agree with, but...
game hundreds of times before and knew the best strategy to take.
My
Any
allergies
team
going
with
crazy.
him was destined to win, and the fact his strategy works definitely proves this. The final game in which he takes part is the marbles one, and this also has a lot of clues in it. Throughout it, it seems like the character is struck by dementia, and he constantly walks around looking for his house.
Yeah.
This game not only
I was
pulls
getting
from his
irritated.
childhood, but the area does too, and unless the Squid Game organisers were psychic, then they'd have no way of knowing what his home looked like.
Yeah.
Throughout the episode, everything he says is brushed away as the ramblings of someone with the disease, but knowing what we know, it becomes all the more obvious that he's in control. In the end, he seems to find his home, and personally, I believe that this is a perfect
Also, if it was anybody else, those people would have shot him. Like, would have shot. If that was, like, another player, they would have been shot them. Like, oh, you're not playing the game? Come on, play the game. I don't care if you got dementia. Bop. They didn't do that. Also, it makes sense as to why they made it seem like he died in this round, because in the last game, the very last one, where they had to walk across the glass and stuff, he would not have survived that. There's no way you can protect him in that game. So,
creation of it. He's giving the game away because throughout the entire season, he's letting us know that all of the challenges and environments are based on things from his life. He lets Ji-hun win, and the character is then seemingly killed off camera, but we know that isn't the case. If we look closely at the gate that Ji-hun has just walked out of, we can see that he's no longer there, and though the rest of the court is filled with bodies, his is completely missing. Now, knowing what we know, a question you may have
and I peeped that, but I didn't even think too much of it.
is why did Ilnam end up leaving the game at this point when he was still invested in playing? Well, the next game is the Deadly Hopscotch one, and this is by far the most unpredictable of the lot. If he didn't end up getting put in last place, then there would be a danger that the person behind him could push him to his death,
This
like
game
what
was
we see in the
crazy.
episode. There's also the possibility that due to his brain tumour, he may have forgotten along the way which glass to step on, and he simply couldn't risk it. Now that is of course a theory, but overall, going back and knowing what we know, I actually think the series becomes better on a second watch. Now obviously I'd love to hear if you spotted any other ones below, and if this is your first time here, then I hope you enjoyed your trip to the Heavy Spoilers show. We are running a competition right now, and give
Yeah, that was a great video. I definitely understood. Yeah, guys, this stuff's crazy. Squid Game is one of those shows, like, it's kind of like Jigsaw. That's one of the reasons why I really liked it. It's because it's like a competition. It's not really a competition in Jigsaw, but I mean, you have the choice whether you live or die. It's just really about skill, and bitch, you better be smart, cause you gonna die if you not. So yeah, but you better be smart, fast. Like, you have to have all types of skills for both games. So that's why I compared it to that. Also, at the end of the show, Squid Game, when he was about to go back home or whatever, and his mom was dead when he got back, it reminded me of Would You Rather. Have you guys seen Would You Rather? It's on Netflix. Anyway, never mind. I don't want to give you a spoiler of that. Never mind. All right. TikTok finds, bro. This is Squid Game TikTok compilation. They actually have the masks. Bro, are you guys... I bet there's going to be a lot of these costumes on Halloween. Let me know if you're going to be one of those. Wait, what is all this? I want one of those.
I'ma drop it like it's pouring. I'ma pour it on myself. Check the money making bank account number. That's that shit that's never getting bounced on your bitch. I do the money dance. I just made 100 bands. When the stars say sign for it, I'ma leave my
She's what's her name?
Dollar bills, watch it falling for me. I love the way that feels.
This is
Dollar
cute.
bills, keep on falling for me. I love the way it feels. I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money. Drop some money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Twerking, when I buy the things I like. Dollars dropping on my ass tonight. Everyone silent, listen to my money talk. Spend how I like it. Yeah, everyone know what I mean. When it's a green, I mean go. Give me what the hell I want. Give me what.
I'm dead. Bro, I saw people doing this challenge and I'm like, I want to do it.
I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money. Drop some money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Falling for me.
Ali. Is it Ali? I think it was Ali. That's how he said it. Yeah, I was mad about Ali's death. Man, my dude just was trying to just get his money for his son, bro. I thought it was so sad when he died.
Love the way that feels. Dollar bills, keep on falling for me. I love the way it feels. I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money.
I'm dead.
제 아내랑 같이 해야 되는데
Bro, they wrong for that one. They wrong for that one. Because I was so sad, bro. That too, I was like, dang, I feel sorry for him. And then he gonna just hang himself.
To myself, I'ma spend it on myself. I'ma drop it like it's pouring. I'ma pour it on myself. Check the money making bank account number. That's that shit that's never getting bounced on your bitch. I do the money dance. I just made 100 bands. When the star says sign for it, I'ma leave my autograph.
I don't even want to see him like that.
Dollar bills.
Bro, me too. Me too. Me too. I thought she was gonna die. I was gonna be like, yeah, but not in this part. Yeah, bro, yes, bro. When she did this, I was like, thank you, times 2, okay, times 2. Cause she really did that. I knew that they weren't. I honestly thought she was just gonna throw him, but doing it together, it was interesting. I was like, okay, go ahead then. You ain't afraid to die, and you okay? You can sacrifice yourself for him to be out the game. Like, that's what's up. But yeah, when she did this whole move and it was in like slow motion and shit, I was like, the whole time. Kid you not.
It's a remix and I'm coming with that bow bow bow. Pretty bitch, I'm tryna hit her with that bow bow bow. Can't catch me slipping, I'ma up it when I bow bow bow. And bitches dance, I throw them bands and make them dance, nigga.
Hey, I'm gonna have to try that dance. They got all these costumes already. Everybody was quick.
I've been struggling on this journey to find a place that fits me. It's like I've been crossing over worlds, but you know this world won't take me. I'm just trying to build a home.
Oh yeah,
But this
that was
home's so
that
flaky.
girl,
I'm
bro.
building up a legacy. I asked the wizard, can I make a wish, please? I'm asking him, yo, is this my calling? And why do his creepy ghosts keep haunting? Where's the stone? So I put my sword in. If life is Pokemon, that's when I'm all in. With my hat on my sleeve, with cautious round my neck. Yeah, these diamonds are normal.
I saw someone selling sugar honeycomb at Insaedong. So So I decided by and tried to do it just like in the Squid Game movie.
But the ones that cheated and used that needle, that hot needle, yeah, that's probably what I did. He doing it wrong.
Watch till the end. So hard, ha hoo hoo.
Yeah, see, I probably would have lost, but not because mine would have been broken, but because I would have ran out of time, to be honest. Oh, man. He would have got shot. Bro, this a Roblox game? You can easily...
Dollar bills keep on falling for me. I love the way it feels. I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money. Drop some money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Twerking. Bills, watch it falling for me. I love the way that feels. Dollar bills.
So, this is on a website?
Money, all this stuff so yummy, yeah. Twerking, when I buy the things I like. Dollars dropping on my ass tonight.
Bruh, I'm done. I'm so done. Whoa, yo. That was a little compilation of Squid Game related videos, and that was super fun. I really enjoyed this. It was just wow. Like, wow. I want one of those boxes, bro. I like that tracksuit. Yes. That would be so cool. I need to see if they have. Where are they? Going crazy. Going crazy.
Boy, if you don't
Delete that, bro. Fuck. It's too late. Alright, y'all. I'm delirious. Gotta go. Thank y'all for watching. Subscribe. Like the video. You already know. Comment down below your thoughts on Squid Game. And thank you guys so much, like I said, for watching. If you do subscribe, if you do hit the bell, you'll see me in the next video. Stay lit, y'all. Yeah.